What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna be talking about some r/slash entitled parent stories, and let's get right into it. All right. So we have me, my daughter, and my entitled mother. Now, this was in 2020, and despite me still learning about myself because I was growing as a new parent, my mother always wanted my room spotless. Now, I have ADHD and cleaning related PTSD caused by her, and the dirtiest my room gets is maybe some empty packages and clothes on the floor because once my room begins to bother me, I will clean. Also, I also have odd and hate being told what to do and will do the opposite just to spite authority figures. Now, my mom had bugged me about my room for several days at this point, and being honest, it was not as bad as she had painted it to be. It was in no way a tripping hazard or a biohazard for my child. Yes, I was depressed snacking for the first 6 months of my daughter's life, but I purposely put the trash can next to my bed, so I had no reason not to throw away my trash. My room is very small, crowded with furniture, leaving me about a 2.5-foot walkway from the door to the nightstands. Shoved towards my window, I have a crib and a wardrobe, as well as my queen-size bed in the small 10 by 15-foot room. So hardly enough space to raise a child, but I did my best. Sleeping with my daughter on my chest brought me enough peace to sleep peacefully despite waking up in pain due to sleeping like the dead, as ever since my daughter was born I slept unmoving when she was next to me, meaning if I fell asleep with her head on my arm I would wake up to pins and needles and a mark from her laying there for the 2 to 3 hours she slept. So I just fed my daughter and needed a morning nap as I was exhausted and still having trouble sleeping at night. I hear the lock unlocking from my door and ignore it as I fell asleep thinking I'd be alone since my daughter and I were having a nap together. As I'm laying there resting my eyes, I feel my daughter being pulled from my arms as I had my hands on her back and her head with my sheets, well below her waist, so it was obvious I was holding her. Thinking my mother had just walked in, from concern for my daughter's safety, I say out loud, "Don't worry, I'm not asleep right now," as she did not know how my sleeping habits had changed since my daughter's birth. She told me to get my ass up, and clean, flipping the light on in the dimly lit room, causing me to wince. I gently tried to fight back as to not hurt my newborn baby, but my mom started pulling at my daughter harder, so I let go before my little angel got hurt. I told her, "You should know, after 19 years, I don't respond to being told what to do. Leave my kid alone and get out of my room." It is a rule throughout the house that nobody is allowed to in my room due to this very problem, but my mother always barges into my room using her stupid key. She takes my kid and says, you can have her back once you clean." I want to call her a fucking idiot and tell her my child is not a bargaining chip, but I bit my tongue and I didn't respond as she walked out the door. I sit on my bed for 20 minutes trying to figure out what just happened before going to grab my kid. She, Refusing to clean up the small piles of clothes in the corner of my room, I told her I had cleaned. She's walking in on me doing the deed, even and during self-relaxation time, and it always pisses me off as she refuses to give me privacy. This is by far my worst experience. I get why she needed a key to my door at the time, with me always being tired during the day, but my daughter never missed a bottle and was never neglected. If she was awake, I was playing with her. If I fell asleep, she was put down for a nap, and she would wake me when something was wrong. My mother never helped me in any way, shape, or form, but I don't get why she feels so entitled to my daughter. If some of this doesn't make sense, it's because I'm running off of 2 hours of sleep as this incident is running circles in my mind. Edit. I forgot to mention I was a single parent at birth and still a single parent to this day. And as of this year, I've been making strides in my routine and have started to clean weekly and deep clean every 2 weeks. Of course, picking up toys daily. Alright, on to the next one. Hello all, I'm writing to you again from the world of hospitals. I am a team lead for my department, who sometimes covers as a desk lady when they are understaffed. On my campus, outpatient imaging, x-rays, CTs, MRIs is done in a building separate from the main hospital. Very occasionally, the inpatient imaging department inside the main hospital will take some patients when there are simply too many appointments for the outpatient center to handle. They have a very tiny registration office/waiting room for when that happens. However, it is important to know that they only open it when they are expecting outpatient appointments, otherwise they will keep it closed. Today, this lady and her very young child came in and walked up to my desk. She let me know that they were here for his imaging appointment and wanted to know where they needed to go. I looked them up and I saw that they were going to the outpatient imaging building. I pointed in the direction and began to speak. She almost immediately cut me off. No, we're not going there. We're going to tiny registration room. I was confused, but I let her know that the patient chart was showing me that she would be going to the outpatient building. She huffed and let me know that I was incorrect, and she knew that she would be going to the tiny registration room since she went there last time. The problem, since inpatient imaging was not expecting any outpatient appointments today, that little room was closed and that there would be no one to redirect her. I repeated myself one more time and let her know that her chart said that she would be going to the other building, but she just interrupted me again. I stopped trying and just said, okay. She had a little speech about how she was already late, she was only about 5 minutes, and I just kept saying, okay, until she walked off into the wrong direction. In all honesty, I'm not sure how much time had passed before this next part happened. It was probably at least 30 minutes to an hour. I heard a few sets of footprints coming down the hall, and I recognized her voice. She was complaining to someone about how our hospital was ridiculous and it was unacceptable that she was waiting for so long before someone came to get her. I didn't even want to turn around to look at her. Turns out she walked herself and her child to the closed registration/waiting area, waiting outside the locked doors for however many minutes, and just began wandering the halls until a nurse found her. Of course, this innocent nurse didn't know all about how I tried to tell her where to go, and she brought her back to me and said, "This lady can help you." Before the lady could say anything, I said, "Yep, like I said, your appointment was at the outpatient building right out there." That we had a brief conversation that went like this. Lady: "Well, now we're really late." Me: "Yes, unfortunately, it seems he missed his timetable. There are usually two times: arrival time so you can fill out paperwork, and table time, which is the time you need to be in your gown on the table in our hospital. Once you miss your table time, they will no longer take you and you need to reschedule." Lady: "So they will still take him?" Me: "No, unfortunately, you will need to reschedule." "Well, I need you to call then and tell them that I just did show up and I was just lost. I think this was just so she didn't get billed." "I'm so sorry, ma'am. I can't do that." "Well, how do I make a new appointment?" "You need to call 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9." "You cannot do it for me?" "I cannot." "Are you serious? What do you even do?" "I make sure everyone has a mask and direct people to their appointments." "Okay, whatever. Thanks for nothing." And she went out the front door while tugging her on her child. I did not dare to tell her to have a nice day. The poor nurse, who was just trying to be helpful, started to apologize, but I let her know it was okay. And that is the end for my story. I hope everyone has had a nice. Alright, guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, comment if you want to see some more of this. And if this video does well, then like and subscribe, and maybe I'll do some more of these storytime kind of content videos. Please have a very wonderful rest of your day.